That's the Daily Grind. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker, not John Cena. I'm glad I just made the noise and didn't try to sing it because that's gone so poorly for me. It's like, I don't know if you listened to Who Let the Dogs Out yesterday, but it sounded like an actual dog singing. It was awful.
Anyway, it's Monday. We have to get better as the week goes on.
You get it, brother. You get it. For those of you who aren't watching and are just listening, those beautiful dulcet tones was one Doc Buckets. Rusty, he's with me every Tuesday. How are you, brother? How are you?
I'm all right. You know, it is what it is, you know, in a lot of ways. And the calendar has turned over. This is my first show with you in the month of March. And it's the age-old question, you know, will February, March? I don't think so, but April, May.
I forgot that I was due for a pun. And you started talking. I was like, oh, man, he seems really sad. I might not get one today. And then I was like, nope. No
matter what, we're pushing through. We're pushing through for the puns.
We are pushing through here on the Daily Grind, which is more than we can say for the Memphis Grizzlies, I would say, in the past 3 games. The Grizzlies lost another game. It's their 3rd in a row for the first time this season. They lost 132 to 130. It was the 3rd game in a row that they lost in the final seconds of the game. It was 3rd game in a row where people were out. I don't know. I don't know. 2 of our big 3 were out, which I guess let's preface this with, I missed the first 3 minutes of the game, and apparently Jaren Jackson Jr. got hurt in the first couple minutes of the game. Wayno, King Meeks, everybody, thank y'all for hanging out. Even you, Uncle Buck. Thank you.
Yeah. Why are you in the comments talking about David Roddy, man? What in the world?
You're bringing in David Roddy and Derrick Rose, the DRs.
Yeah. I saw one clown from one of them spaces say yesterday that Houston picked him up because they need him to scout against Memphis. And I'm sorry, but if Houston needs David Roddy to scout against Memphis, even the team we saw play last night, Grizz and 5, that's pathetic. But anyway, I digress.
That's where they're at. They're in trouble. But yeah, let's Jared got hurt. Sprained his ankle. Was it bad?
It didn't look good. It didn't look good. He came down on a foot, and it was a hard inversion sprain, foot turned in pretty hard as he came down, was unable to put a lot of weight on it, went straight to the locker room and never came back. And so, you know, I'm hopeful. I'm a glass half full guy. You know, I try to be anyway in most areas of my life, but that didn't look good. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's another Cam Spencer that I'm wrong about, but I don't like how it looked and how he hobbled off the court, you know, especially with Oklahoma City Lumen. That sucks. He's been our Iron Man. He's played 59 games this year. Got to get to 65 for the All-NBA, All-Defensive team. And I know the Grizz are pushing for that because then we can't be outbid. We can pay him the most. That was a tough scene last night. That was hard. And after that, the wind in my sails was completely gone. I was just I don't know where we go from here. And then we got a great Desmond Bane game. These nerds
that
keep
double ever.
Yeah, first triple-double, 35, 10, and 10. These nerds talking about Desmond Bane needs to be traded and all this kind of stuff. Last night showed you what he can do. We're not going to talk about the last 5 possessions that didn't go real well for him, but he had a monster game. In the 3rd quarter, he had 18 of his 35 points and got whatever he wanted. So that's the good part of last night, was one of our big 3 had a monster game. But yet again, we wasted one of our big 3's monster games.
Well, and let's those final 5 possessions. Let's mention it's worth noting. Dyson Daniels was on him white on rice. You know, that's an all first team All NBA defender. Des makes some of those mistakes sometimes. The dribbling off the foot happens more than I would like to see. Sure. But Dyson Daniels, it's the best. I don't know what else it's one of the best maybe top 3 best point of attack defenders in the league right now. You know, it's a tough beat for Des.
And he got a great clean pick of Desmond's pocket to knock that ball loose.
Fought over that screen.
It was incredibly well timed. Hats off. It was a great winning basketball play. You know, and he had, Dyson Daniels did Dyson Daniel things last night. He had a great game, 14 points, he had 3 steals, none bigger than obviously that last one against Desmond Bane. We had a chance to win.
What happened to Santi?
Santi was sore. Santi was sore just like Ja. He had calf soreness. Ja has shoulder soreness. Like, look, bro, like, I'm trying. Like, I yelled for 10 minutes on my post-game bounce last night. So when it gets posted, just know you might want to turn your volume down just a little. But like, we're 60 some odd games into the year. Like, what are we doing? Everybody's sore. Everybody's got bumps and bruises. You're 25 years old. You cannot sit here and tell me that you can't manage to string together a few basketball games when you are sore. I want that PTO policy because it must be nice to be able to take off work like some of these dudes take off work. You're sore, brother. We're all sore. Like, I guarantee you there were people on that court last night in Memphis from either team that are sore, and yet we still play basketball. And Santi's catching strays this morning. Santi's not my big issue. Like, I understand things happen. Santi's not the one that I'm looking at this morning.
No, it's the same. Santi's one of the few guys that after, God, it feels weird losing 3 in a row. After Saturday's loss was one of the few that came out, seemed actually mad about it.
Yeah, like that's the worst part, man. It's like it just doesn't look like anybody cares.
The optics are terrible.
Terrible. Like this is a low energy. It's our first 3-game losing skid of the season. When two of these games we had double-digit leads, including last night, we were up 13 with 9 minutes to go in the game. Like, that makes it even harder to swallow that we just don't know how to close. And I mean, you're not a serious contender or a playoff team or whatever if you can't close basketball games against two. And don't forget the last 2 games we lost. We wasted a big 3 monster game. B, we're in both. B, we were up double digits. And C, both of those teams are sub 500.
Yeah, it's
and the freaking Spurs aren't even trying. Like, they are legitimately not trying without win because they're trying to fail for flag. And Grizz Girl, like 179, thanks for being here. Going to end up the 5th seed. To be honest, bro, we're going to be fighting for our life to be the 5th seed. Uncle Buck and I recorded yesterday. We were arguing back and forth about, is it better to be the 2 seed, which is where I was at. Like, we need home court advantage. He was saying, let's be the 5 seed because we play the Rockets first, but then we'll funnel into the Thunder. Like, it don't matter. That team last night, it could be a play-in team, and it wouldn't matter. I don't know, bro. Like, this, like, something is off. Wayno said something if TJ lost the team.
Yeah, I want to put that up there.
We'll take a lap about TJ here in a minute, but it's a bummer, man. It's just a bummer.
It is a bummer. There were multiple.
Real quick, like DG, like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, and I think that might be worse.
Yes, I hate it. It's. There were several shots of Taylor Jenkins yesterday. There's been several shots past couple games. This string of losses is just. He has seemed really personally out of sorts on the sidelines. I would say he doesn't seem. It's weird. As someone it's weird to see him I think it's weird to see it letting him affect him outwardly.
Maybe
like if these are the same, if these are the same habits that we've seen for years, which I think we are all agreeing, like, these are starting. We've seen this before. If in the past years he at least had a good face. I mean, he is flat out looking like someone shot his dog on the sidelines and and last night, the night before. I mean, like, it's just like it trickles down from the top, I think.
I was deer hunting one time with a friend of mine in Central Tennessee on some property out south of Nashville. And it got dark and I got turned around. I wasn't exactly sure where I was at. And I made that same face that TJ made last night, where he just looks up, looks down, puts his hands in his pocket. That's a man that is absolutely lost.
It's tough.
And like, it's trendy. It's cool now to be like, oh, TJ may not be the one, but there's 130 episodes of me telling y'all this on the 2 Buck Sports Show for the last 2 years. I've been on this show for about a year telling y'all that, like, I don't know what you expect. Like, yeah, it's like it's under a microscope now because you've got Drew Hill, you've got Chris Vernon, you've got other people that are way more influential than I am telling you the same things that have been going on for the last 2 years. And it's cool now because Verno's put his stamp on it, right? He has said something. Gary Parrish said something yesterday. BK and Pete last night on the broadcast were saying some things about TJ losing the team. And we don't have a true leader, DG. We don't have a true head coach. Like, we are a byproduct of our head coach who is emotional in his head and cannot find his way through a good basketball game. Like, he doesn't know how to close. Our defensive schemes, which is apparently he's a defensive guy, have been a nightmare the last 3 games. Like, we're closing out and overhelping on every layup and leaving Ricochet and OG Anunoby and De'Aaron, like, guys wide open for threes. Bassel the other night for the Spurs are cooking us from the 3-point line. I think you've got some stats that show like our 3-point defense has been terrible lately, and that's where he hangs his hat. And you can say, yeah, he's playing Luke and these other guys, and Gigi is an awful defender, but he's the one running these freaking lineups out there, man.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, I will give you credit, give Sane credit, give Chris Ingram. I feel like our network, feel like there's guys here that have been on this for years. You included. Like, I feel like around here, we've done a good job of having guys like me, like Uncle Buck, like DG, who are more pro Taylor, but we also got guys that are like, get that sorry mug out of here. And you guys have been on it for a long time, and it's
nothing personal. Like, he might be a great guy to get a beer with, like I said on Twitter yesterday, but the guy cannot close games. Like, he gets that face late in games. He becomes a fan like us, and he's watching the game and doesn't know what to do. Like, literally 90% of the FedEx Forum the other night was screaming, call a timeout, and then Ja gets an 8-second violation. And then we're running out, like, closing out help side defense and leaving OG Anunoby wide open. Like, we're doing the same thing against the Spurs and letting Fox get to his left hand, which, by the way, he's left-handed, and makes the game-winning layup. Like, it just doesn't – I don't know. It just doesn't compute, man. And if y'all are okay with this product in year 6 of a head coach, then you are not serious about winning a NBA title or being a contender, and you're completely okay with mediocrity. And I am uncomfortable with people who are comfortable with being average or losing. That's all I'm saying. And TJ is that, man.
Yeah. We're in year 6. I think that you just said that. I think that's worth noting. Like, we have gotten to the point where it's not even – it's regressed to the mean in, like, I would say, the truest sense of the word currently. And
I don't want him to fail. Like, nobody benefits more from him turning it around than I do, because my guy is like the leader of our team and can take us to the playoffs. And, like, in the playoffs, like, right now, these mistakes are hurting, but in the playoffs, they're going to be catastrophic when we don't know when to call a timeout or make a sub. Like, and it's so, like, comparison is the thief of all joy. And you learn that in all aspects of life, right? But, like, watching other coaches see a run and be like, ooh, I need to put my best player in. Joker, get in. LeBron, get in. KD, get in. And TJ sitting there like, oh, they're on a run. This is not good. And then don't do anything. Like,
it always feels like it goes 1 or 2 possessions longer than it should every time.
It does, because he'll look at it and say, you know what'll stop this run? John Conchar.
Yep.
And it's like, what are we doing, man?
Yeah, it's gotten really, really tough. Which is, let's talk. We're talking. It's easy to say. TJ's doing bad. There's the numbers are backing this up is the thing. Like, we're not just hating to hate. I don't think anybody here is hating to hate. We try to preach positivity. I think all of us try to. We know what's happening. But if you find a milk carton out there, the Grizzlies defense is going to be missing on there. There's missing posters all over because of what we've been seeing. It's like you said, he was a defensive coach. We may be kicking tail in the offensive side of the ball right now, but, like, at what cost? Like, it's been really bad. And if this is his staple, currently we are 11th in defensive rating, 11th in the league, with a number that is right at where we were last year.
Yeah.
When I don't know, we finished 12th last year with no
Timmy
team
Allen.
to speak of. Well, yeah, yes. So like, that's where we're at now this year. You go back. We're talking top 10 finishes in defensive rating every single year prior to that until you go back to TJ's first year. He has turned back. Like, it's literally like, oh, maybe I think we're literally witnessing his ceiling because the defense is gone. 3-point defense is gone. Regular defense is gone. Like, the help defense is not gone because it's everywhere and anywhere all at once.
It's too much.
That's a movie. Yeah, that's a movie. It's too much, and it will, like, the help defense makes me so mad because it just gets everyone everyone gets all, it gives people an excuse to get mad at everybody because they're like, oh, he overhelped. It's like, come on now. But I don't know how you fix this. I don't know. I don't know how you fix the defense. I don't know at this point.
I think one thing that would help, and like Vince's defense has kind of gone downhill. He was not good last night defensively. He wasn't great against the Spurs. But Luke, we continue to be 30th, dead last in starters minutes and starter points. We're 30th in the league.
Still.
And I'm not trying to be the New York Knicks and be first place, be the number one starter minutes, but there's a happy middle ground somewhere in there around that 14, 15, 12. Like, I'm not a smart man. I'm not. Like, you can ask anybody, they know that. But I know enough to know that if my best players play a little more and they're 25 years old, you can't tell me that a 25-year-old kid can play 38 minutes in a game. 37, average 36 minutes. Because like Jaren's 36 minute numbers are generational. And he plays like 30. But if we could get 4 to 5 more minutes from some of these guys, I think our defense could be better. Like you would have more Jaren time, more Vince time. You know, Ja's been a better defender this year if he ever plays. Like you've got guys who are defending better. They're not playing enough. And so it maybe even enough is not that. I don't know. Maybe not the right minutes because we still stick to the script. Like you can see, like it's the same thing every night, the same exact time. There's never an adjustment to put in a better defender to try and slow down a run or crush a hot hand, or and it's so hard to find a rhythm when Jalen Wells closes some nights and then he sits other nights and then he plays the second quarter some nights and he doesn't play the third, and it's just like. We've got 20 games left, and like I'm tired of the excuse of he's just throwing whatever at the wall to see if it'll stick. We're in year 6 with 20 games left, and we're still trying to figure this out.
And we know who's going to be in the rotation at this point. Like if there's anything based on who he closed with last night, we know who's going to be in the rotation. It's going to be the 5 starters. It's going to be Luke. It's going to be Vince. It's going to be Santi and Brandon Clark. And those are the 9 guys that he's going to be. Gigi. He's clearly not going to give Gigi any run. Like we know that. We know like that. Those are the 9 guys that we're going to ride with. Like
so
I don't
why
know
are we playing Lamar Stevens? Why are we playing Jay Huff? Like I don't understand why I need to see those. We don't need to see those minutes. Why is John Conchar starting after not starting for 3 months? Like why are we doing what we're doing, man? Like
they're not playing basketball for 3 months.
and that's it. Like and so I don't understand how you can look at this and be like TJ's not a problem. I don't know how you can look at this and say that they're like a change, like a new voice, something different, something needs to change. And, we don't have a true leader. Our superstar takes nights off for soreness and doesn't, get in the mix very much. And I'm being careful what I say because I know he watches some of this stuff and I'll get blocked or banned or whatever. But like, we don't have a true, like Jaren, as much as Jaren carries this team, we go as Ja Morant goes. And if Ja's taking nights off and bad energy, that's where we're at, man. And ball don't lie when the energy's off. Like you don't shoot threes well, you don't play well, you don't defend well. We're just not doing anything well right now.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a bummer because there's 20 games left. Is that what you said? 20 games left? I mean,
yeah, roughly
21.
It ain't a lot.
Math. We're not mathematicians around here. We're just 2 dudes. Let's look at the next quick math. Let's look at the next 10 games at least. One thing that I love about
21 games.
21 games.
Also, I'm so sick of this. Like we played 11 players in the first quarter. Like, yeah, they played 9 players last night. Yes, we played like 9 guys got run last night, majority of it. But we ran out 11 players in the first quarter. You cannot tell me that doesn't affect a rhythm of a basketball game and getting in a flow. Like miss me with that, man. Like Ja Morant can only play 8 minutes of the first quarter, but Donovan Mitchell can play the first quarter and half of the second and have 22 points before Ja comes back in. Stop making excuses for underachievement, man. Jeez.
Yeah, and the Dez is a good example. Dez played the entire third last night. Like they can do it. They can do it.
They can do it, man. Let the big dogs eat, man. Let them eat.
Yep. I mean, they hungry. They hungry.
We all hungry.
Yeah, and it's just last thing I'll say about this. It's just we shouldn't be with 20 games left. And when you look at it, like Brevin says, that's my favorite. One of my favorite things that BK says is look at the game in 10 game spans. How do you do over? Or he says 5 games. I love like breaking that out into the next. 10-10. I think that's cool to do with the rest of the way. With 10, if you break it down with 20 games, yeah, Shelby, yeah. When I love her. When you break it down into the next 10-10, the time for playing 11 guys in the first, even if guys are hurt, I would say is over.
It's been over, bro. And I'm tired of it being like, well, it's just October, it's just November, it's just December. Well, it's March and we're running out of time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They're professional athletes and that, I don't know. Yeah. But back to it. Let's look at the next 10 games because we're going to need Ja. We need Jaren. Jaren's hurt, which granted, like we were saying, everyone has all the incentive in this situation to come back. So if it's not super serious, Lord knows whatever they're doing to the boys' ankles down there in the forum, who knows? But like,
what are we doing, man? I've never seen a team, any professional college team, get bit by injuries as hard as the Memphis Grizzlies do. It's wild.
Yep, it's kind of funny. It's gonna be all hands on deck. And I just want to go through the next 10 games, just kind of like forecast, project what we're looking at, because right now, and not even seeding, we might have a conversation tomorrow or later this week just about seeding and where all that, because I think there's a lot to discuss there. But the next 10 games, so we will play the Thunder on Wednesday. I'm gonna lose that.
Yep.
I'd be surprised if we won that. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's put it that way.
Mavs on Friday. Kyrie got hurt. I don't know.
It didn't look good either, man. Like his whole quad shook and the way he went down. I think he might be on the shelf.
So we may win that one.
That's a winnable. That's a winnable game. That's kind of how we have to label it, right? Because we should have been watching the Spurs. So
the last I almost hit the wall. I was like, the last two. I got a poll right here. I'm about to hit it. So Pelicans also a winnable game.
Yes, very winnable.
So let's say 2-1. Suns, very winnable, but I don't know.
It's hard to beat a team 4 times, you know?
Yeah, and even a team that looks as miserable as they do. So let's just say for the sake of, let's say we go 2-2 in the first 4, just for the sake of it. Yep. Jazz, I think they're full in tank mode. Win. So let's say 3-2. We're going to get beat by the Cavs. Team's awesome. What is that? 3-3. Heat game.
That game.
That's the one game I'm actually trying to get to. I'm hoping. I'm going to try to come.
Be there.
Next is Heat. Tony Allen's jersey retirement. I feel like they're going to show out for that one. I feel like,
it'll be better than last year when Marks got retired and we got punked by the Sixers, but we were playing like an LA Fitness team. Like we had nobody played in that game. I agree. I think we'll show up. The energy will be good that night. It'll be a buzz in the forum, and we'll call that one a win.
So that's 4-3.
Yeah.
Next is the Kings. I don't know.
It's a toss up because they're playing better.
They're playing better. Let's say we lose that one just because they're playing for playoff. They're trying to get into the position, seeding, whatever.
Jake LaRavia revenge game.
Exactly. God, I would love that. Not really. So it's 4-4. Blazers and Clippers. So we could go 5-5.
We could. Yeah, that's tough to be bookended by the Thunder and the Clips for sure. But there's winnable games in there. But like right now, and I hate. Again, I'm an optimistic guy. I'm a glass apple kind of guy. I hate being this, but like right now, any toss-up game, I'm not going to lean towards the Grizzlies because they've shown me nothing that tells me we're going to do anything different. And Wayno, this is any team with a 3-point shooter we're going to lose to. Any team with a guy who's remotely good at 3-pointers we're going to lose to because somebody's going to have a career revitalization against us from the 3-point line. And last night it was Garrison Matthews of Franklin, Tennessee, one of our own homegrown boys, went to Lipscomb. Was good for the Hawks last night, hitting 3 threes, 3 of 5 last night.
We used to play. I went to Belmont and there was the Battle of the Boulevard. It's Lipscomb was our rivals, and we whooped their ass every year.
There we go. Belt to ass. Let's go.
I was like, yeah. They said Lipscomb. I was like, yeah, okay.
Who? Never heard of her.
Bison's who? Killing me. So that just, I don't know. We're not going to look at the seedings because I think Daniel.
It's not pretty because the teams around us, like records matter because the teams around us, and I don't care what Taylor Jenkins says, you better be looking at the standings because it's going to matter when the teams around you are playing better basketball. You know, you've got the Lakers who are surging, the Nuggets that are surging. The Lakers are 8-2 in their last 10. The Nuggets are 7-3 in their last 10. Just below us by 1 game, the Rockets are 5-5. Just below them, 5 games behind us, the Warriors are 8-2 in their last 10. Like there's some guys there's some teams with some real momentum around us. And unless we make some changes, like DG, I don't know that we shouldn't drop past 5th.
I think we'd free fall.
If we free fall, there's a real chance that you could be 6 or 7. Like we're 5.5 games out of 7th place. That ain't that much.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Real quick, go Bruins. Sorry, I had to get that in there. Woo, go Bruins. Love it. Not a lot of us Bruins out there. I tend to, this is why I want to have a discussion, because I think I tend to agree with DG. I don't think we'll drop past 5th, but I want to explore it because you got to look at what these other teams are doing. Warriors are playing like men possessed. So we're going to find out.
I don't think so either. Like, I just want to end with some positivity. I don't think so either. I think Jaren's injury is not going to be that big of a deal. I think somebody's going to throw a chair, break a clipboard in the locker room, or we're going to go on a tear. I think 5-5 should be our floor in the next 10 games. But if you go like 7-3, you're right back in the thick of everything, and you've got a lot of opportunity ahead of you.
Yeah. God, I don't know. I was going to bring up
because you got a lot of teams you can beat. But if you lose to the Thunder, say the Thunder, the Cavs, the Suns, or the Thunder, Cavs, and Clips, like you still go 7-3, and a lot of the woes that we're facing right now, that puts you at 45-26. I mean, that's not bad.
No, man.
We can do it.
We can do it. We're going to do it. We're going to
Memphis. I believe in you.
We believe in you, Memphis. We're manifesting it. We're also going to manifest tubes.
Tubes?
I don't know. Weird transition. It's Tubing Tuesday, everybody. On Tuesdays, we talk about what we're watching on TV because everybody has one. And the way the Grizzlies have been playing, I'm sure that we're looking for stuff other to watch than basketball sometimes. Excuse me. I will say, though, last night, if you have Fox Sport, if you have the Southeast of whatever, the FanDuel trying to switch over between the Hawks broadcast and I was really confused. I don't like the Hawks broadcast. Sorry. Last negative thing I say, I was like, who are these people? And what have they done with my BK and my Pete?
But I did watch the Braves. I'm like, I don't want to watch the Braves.
I don't want to watch the Braves.
I want to watch the Braves.
I love it. But Tubing Tuesday, we talk about what we're watching on TV. Typically not sports related. I can go first. Got kind of I'll give you 3 things. One, if you're not watching Severance, everybody go watch it. It's crazy. Daniel, I know you said you couldn't get past the first episode because it was slow. It's so good after that, and it's trippy, and it makes my brain hurt. After every time we watch an episode, me and Kyle will just spend hours just on our phone looking at theories. It's like our ritual now. We get up, have coffee, we'll watch the Severance episode, and then we're like, you ready to get on Reddit? Okay. And then we're just going through the theories. It's great. Saw Captain America, the new one. Loved it. I think that it should be called Captain America, The Incredible Hulk 2, because it's basically a sequel for that 2008 Hulk movie with Ed Norton, which I loved. I was delighted when all this Hulk shit. I was like, I got really excited, but it's not a Captain America movie, so don't go in expecting a Captain America movie. But Sam Wilson was killer. And the last thing, what I'm excited to watch, and I never thought I would say this. I don't know. That's not true. There's Daniel Greer. That hurt my feelings.
He's haters, man. Jealousy as a disease. Get well soon, DG.
There's a Celtics documentary on HBO that is produced by the guys at The Ringer. And I like the content they do, and it's about the history, just the entire history of the Celtics. And I love, and those, for people like us, it's just that those Larry Bird Celtics team were just really part of our history. It's like in the history of us, like growing up, part of the game. So I'm excited. That's on my list to watch. How about you? Nice. What do you guys watching?
So we watched over the weekend. I watched the first episode of Reacher. I saw it in the comments a few minutes ago. I liked it. I've only seen the pilot. My dad and I watched it. I was entertained. Going to give it a shot. Maggie said she can give it a shot. So we're going to rewatch the pilot and see what she thinks. We'll go from there.
That's a big guy, right? The big dude?
Yeah, big guy. Whoa, big hulking guy. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It was a good pilot. I thought it was a good first episode. Watched that. Watched The Gorge with Miles Teller and Lorde, the lead singer of Lorde or whatever. That's who she looks like. It's not who it really is. That's what every time they kept showing her, I'd be like, we'll never be royals. Anyway, it could have been so good. And it was entertaining. Like, it wasn't bad. But it's one of those like horror movies and books do this often. Like they're going down a lane and it's like, man, this is going to be really good. And all of a sudden it's like hard left. And then you just go this way, you know, like it was good. It was entertaining. Like it's not my favorite movie by any stretch, but it was good. It was 2 hours. It could have been maybe an hour and a half, hour 45. It kind of drug a little bit, but I mean, it was fine. You know, it was fine. I thought I was entertained. I didn't hate it. So I guess that's all you can ask for. And then we're still on our Bachelor kick. We didn't get to watch last night because the Grizz game. We're going to watch it on Wednesday. I got to find it. It's hometowns. We started it a little bit, but it's hometowns. You go meet the family and all this. Like,
did they have any rows? Who do you like? Do you guys have
their names? I'm going to be honest. Like, there's the tall girl. I don't know. Like, there's one of them that's tall. That, like, I think we like.
No, I'm
look at Bachelor tall girl, and I think she'll know who. I don't know. Like, I mean, the girl that the first hometown we watched last night, she's from Newton, Massachusetts. She's like, there ain't nothing between her ears but air, and it's just like, what we doing here?
Does she got the accent?
Yeah, for sure. I'll be honest, DG, I know Grant is the Bachelor, but I couldn't tell you the other girls' names, honestly. Just the tall one.
I love it. So I'm deciding right now. I'm previewing the name. Or the name. I got previewing next week. It's spring break for most places. We're gonna do trash TV week for spring break. We're gonna talk trash TV on Tuba Tuesday next week. Make sure you're there because it's gonna be crazy. I might watch Days of Our Lives. I don't know.
Well, I gotta watch some Love Is Blind, Below Deck. Maggie watch that stuff. I'll watch that stuff. I'm gonna come full of knowledge and names and facts next week.
Let's do it. It's gonna be tune in next week when we make fools of ourselves. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Look, go Grizz. We're still with this team. Don't think we're not. Don't go out there and be like, these guys don't like the Grizz.
No.
They don't. Like, because we do. We're passionate about this team, and that's why people get it. That's fan base.
And it's okay to act like, DG, like, it's okay to ask for better and ask for more. I know that's hard for you, but like, it's okay to have a decent product, but hope it gets better.
It get better. We will be back tomorrow. I'm hoping we're going to go 3 wide. I'm not sure what we're going to draft yet, but we're going to talk about it. I'll think about it.
We can draft bad TJ moves. How about that?
Like dance moves? Or
no, like just bad times that TJ screwed us late in games.
Well, number one,
but I do like dance moves better.
Does TJ dance? I don't know. I'm going to stop
dancing. Do the Macarena up
here. No. If we can leave you with anything today other than the Macarena, remember to be a little weird like we just were. And remember to smile. Bye, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have good days.